wearing his For the Brand t-shirt is none other than Pat McAfee. I would say you're a former Pro Bowl punter, but once a Pro Bowl punter, forever a Pro Bowl punter.
That means a lot. You're a Pro Bowl human, and that round of applause was for you in this operation you have here. For those of you that don't know,
yes.
Rich Eisen is running a first-class operation here. His makeup lady, very, very nice.
Thank you,
She
Pat.
saw my face, brought out a bucket, went to work, and it's very, very great to be here,
And
Rich.
you're a handsome man.
That is a lie.
You know, I can't even tell that you're wearing makeup.
She did a whole Bob Ross situation with my face. She put a couple happy little trees on my forehead. I mean, it was a wild scene. I've never been a part of something like this, but it's been awesome to be here.
Good to see you, sir.
Great to be here.
How you loving the Southern California situation?
This morning I woke up, took some vitamins, and stared out at the sea for about 25, 30 minutes. Tell you what, it was really awesome.
Was it in that order? Was it in that order?
Yep, it was. Well, I showered first.
Okay.
Got the weekend rust off. Then I stare at the sea for about 25, 30 minutes, and a homeless guy was tripping on some drugs comes running by. That was kind of its own little spectacle for 15 minutes.
Welcome to Southern California.
It was awesome. Yeah, I love this place a lot.
And the vitamins, where did the vitamins come into play?
It's probably the reason why I can't go back into the NFL tomorrow is because this particular batch of vitamins that I use. But it makes me feel good, and I enjoy my life.
Okay.
Yeah, and the ocean looks a lot better on these particular vitamins as well.
Now, how many times did you get that letter from the NFL trying to make sure that you were not taking whatever supplements that you might be on right now?
Well, the random drug tests, those are only for PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. And I always wondered why they would test me, because if I was to take off my shirt,
yes,
it is that of an adolescent. I look bad. I look like worse than you probably, which shouldn't happen, by the way. That was not a shot at you. That was a shot.
It's okay. I take it as that, though.
I'm built like a barrel, okay? But the street drug tests, it's only an annual. So once you take it, celebration begins. Here we go. We're off and running. Unless you get arrested for any alcohol or drug-related charge, which I allegedly had. Then I got tested 8 times a month for 27 months. That was rough.
So did you ever like uncork a game where you averaged like 60 yards a punt?
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got that random letter in your locker. Did that happen?
Yeah, I used to look at it as like a shot from Roger Goodell if I didn't get tested. Like, oh, you didn't think I had that good of a game? You didn't think you should randomly drug test me? I hit a 60-some-yard ball, Roger. Come get this piss, cuz.
I punted so well, I should be randomly tested. That's.
I feel that way about Adam Vinatieri, too. Like, when Vinny he's like 50 years old, knocking down 50-yard field goals. He gets tested the next day, And if he doesn't, I think he takes it as a shot, too. Yeah. It's the new thing in the NFL. If you don't get randomly tested, Roger Goodell just doesn't think you had a good enough game.
It's not your father's NFL anymore. Is what
No way.
McAfee's trying to say right
now.
No
way. Got to get that piss up.
Okay.
Urine. Sorry. I don't know what we're allowed to say here.
No, it's okay. So,
look at that, Mick. I'm just seeing myself now on the camera.
Yeah, how do you like it?
I'll tell you what, you Hollywood people really living nice.
Yeah, I know. You got to come out here from every now. So you're still living in Indianapolis? Is that where you're still living?
Yeah, full time.
Okay.
Like the people there. Great. Hoosier hospitality is a real thing.
Where are you from originally?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, where the ballers ball and the players play.
So the Steelers were your team growing up?
It's my dad's team, yeah. He used to just throw the remote at the TV every time Cordell Stewart did something wrong. It was a wild scene. Watching my dad on Sundays is what made me not be a fan of teams and be a fan of players, because his life was just ruined anytime Jerome Bettis or Kimo Olhoffen or any of them ever.
Oh, that accent just came out right there.
Yeah, the Yinzer, it was bad. I saw my dad break a couple remotes and almost TVs after Bill Cowher's chin comes out and starts spitting at people. So I just became a fan of players instead of teams.
So
but
who was your player growing up then?
Loved Deion Sanders. Loved Randy Moss. I like people with personality. That's why I love Conor McGregor. It's a shame that he had to fight a guy that wrestled a bear as a child. He had no chance there. I like personality.
I was about to say, let's get into that then.
Yeah.
What did you make of the match on Saturday night?
I think in MMA, right, mixed martial arts.
Yes.
I think it's one of those sports where if you're rich and comfortable, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? And if you get $100 million payday, I think it's almost you get a little bit too comfortable. Conor McGregor showed up in great shape, though, which I didn't expect, because if I have $100 million, there's no way I'm going to be rolling and training at 5 a.m. with other dudes trying to break my legs. That's neither here nor there. That Khabib character, though, is why. I literally watched a video of him this morning wrestling a bear.
When he was 7 in Dagestan.
Wrestling in, I don't know what Dagestan is, but he wrestled a bear.
There it is right there, Patrick.
Yeah, look at him. He's taking his leg. It's a double leg shoot, too. I mean, if you can't... Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear. This guy really did that. And it was...
Age 7. You know what? I don't know, again, what your folks, how they raised you.
Yeah.
I know how mine raised me.
Yeah.
And, VHS was just beginning when I was 7.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't know, again, if it was more readily available, if my folks would say, hey, today, 7-year-old Rich, let's go wrestle a bear, and we'll shoot it. We'll have it there forever. You'll have that VHS copy forever.
See, I think Tim McAfee, if a bear was available,
he would do it?
I think he would have sent me in there. I think he would have. I think he would have, just to kind of test my couth there for a little bit. I think he would have. I played soccer growing up, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when I was a child, I flinched or something. When a guy kicked, I flinched.
How old were you?
Probably 8, 7 or 8. And my dad would definitely go to jail for this now. He taped me to a fence and threw soccer balls at me. So he would prove that it wouldn't hurt.
All right, now walk me through this process.
Yeah,
Pat.
absolutely.
So what type of tape was it used?
It was duct tape. Yeah, the real thing. It was a real thing. And my dad would definitely end up in jail if this was anywhere near the world we're in right now.
Okay.
But I never flinched again, I'll tell you that. Once you get a soccer ball right to the chest while being taped to a fence by your dad, you're never going to flinch again.
So I'm assuming no headgear involved, right?
No. That's why this nose probably happened. I got a big old sniffer. It's probably from a soccer ball hitting there, and I don't remember. CTE City possibly coming right off that
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So Khabib wrestling a bear at age 7 is obviously not out of the realm. I stepped into that wrong octagon with the McAfee.
Yeah, you got to remember, this
there.
is a Pittsburgh family here.
Understood.
Yeah.
But to me, again, I'm like, it's amazing how folks are kind of shocked that somebody who wrestled a bear at age 7 and is willing to take knees, feet, forearms, knuckles
let's just
to
say
the face.
let's say it how it is. Let's say how it is.
Sure.
They're human cockfighters. Those fighters.
Right.
They are legitimately human rooster fighters, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what language we're allowed to use here. I think.
Well, let's be as safe for work as possible.
Chicken fighters. They are human chicken fighters.
No, the way you said it is still fine.
Okay, good. Okay. It's like a gladiator situation, though. You got to have a special thing in your brain to go into this gladiator inside of a cage to fight. That's why whenever they start going after these guys, they're not good people. Connor's a rude. Yeah, he's trying to kill a human. That's what he's actually trying to do. Now, granted, all this stuff post-fight, I think it's good for the UFC, by the way, because it's all we're talking about. Yeah. Dana White having to act mad afterwards, like, this is a stain on the UFC. I'm so upset. It's like, this is the most relevant you've been.
No, but I also said, just full disclosure at the top, that in this day and age, nobody's ashamed of anything anymore. And at least I appreciated that. That
he said that it was.
Yes, that he said that this is bad and that this is not right.
Well, that's because there's a potential lawsuit coming.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
That could be it too.
The old CYA situation.
But I appreciated that because he could have come out and said, too bad if you don't like it. As a matter of fact, you try and get in the ring and, got all barrel-chested about this sort of thing. I would have taken offense to that, actually.
Dana's a good businessman. I think we can all agree that Dana White's a good businessman. What, they buy it for like a couple million, then they sell it for a couple billion. I mean, It's the way it goes. But I think we're all talking about it right now. Huge Houston Texans Dallas Cowboys game last night. Sunday Night Football goes to overtime. Deshaun Watson getting killed the entire night. Big game-winning field goal. What's everybody talking about this morning, though? Khabib, the guy from
Dagestan.
You got it. Dagestan jumping out of the cage, and then a guy in a red jacket, clean, cold clocking Conor McGregor after the fight. It's good marketing. It's good work. As the WWE people would say, it's good work. It was great for UFC.
Pat McAfee here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Nice set, bro.
Thanks, man. So you're going to hang out for the whole hour with us here. Chris Brockman's going to have a news update and more. If you want to take phone calls, we can do that too with Pat McAfee, 844-204-RICH, because you're just hanging for the whole hour.
Yep. Here we are.
What's your scoop right now? What are you up to is what I'm saying? Because I know you're a Barstool. You're not with Barstool anymore. Are you a free agent or are you a media free agent?
I am a media free agent.
Okay.
Not really hot in the streets, but I am a free agent. It's like those guys that don't get drafted, but they never really played. They're free agents. That's where I am right now.
Well, I mean, you took a real risk leaving the NFL and a paycheck, joining Barstool at the sort of ascent of Barstool, which is now a large
mogul operation.
Conglomerate.
Yep,
right,
they're
exactly.
huge.
Why'd you do that?
Why'd I quit?
And do that.
I wasn't enjoying football anymore. I wasn't enjoying the business of the NFL, if that makes sense. I'll always be an NFL fan. Always be a fan of the games, the football in general. I love it. I have a lot of friends still playing. I still watch every single weekend. I just wasn't enjoying going to work anymore. I was starting to feel as if I'm not the right guy for the league anymore, if that makes sense. I was falling in love with stuff off the field more so than on the field. I would go and do philanthropy stuff, and it would be like real fulfillment. And then I sold 10,000 tickets to a comedy show, a 4-night comedy show in like 35 seconds or something in Indiana. And I was like, man, this is fun. And then I would do stand-up, and people would laugh for 35 minutes to 45 minutes of a 90-minute show, batting 500, not too bad.
Yeah, right.
And then I would go to work, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was like, I'm kind of sick of kicking balls whenever our offense fails. It's not really fulfilling anymore. You know what I mean?
What a way to describe the brand, Pat.
Well, that's
the way you started looking at it.
I was kind of falling out of love with kicking balls on fourth downs, and I cherished my time in the NFL. I love the friendships I created, the experiences. I got a lot of money from it. I got to take care of my whole family. I got to take care of my friends. I just started falling out of love with it and wanted to chase fulfillment. And the internet was the way to go.
Yeah. Sure was.
Yeah, we're doing okay over there on the internet.
Yeah, and PatMcAfeeShow.com, the greatest comedic sports documentary of all time is now live. What is that about? What is that about?
Well, I never played baseball growing up.
Okay.
My dad hated baseball. Said it was boring, had me play soccer. Wild move.
By the way, also, if he's going to tape you to a pole and fire balls at you, better not baseball, to be honest with you. You
I'm happy those were soccer balls and not baseballs.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Okay.
Probably still struggling to this day if they were baseballs.
Understood.
My dad was sick of seeing me look soft, by the way. I
Sure.
respect the move. Hindsight 2020, 50-50, Cam Newton says. I think I never played baseball. Didn't even play catch.
Nice.
Right? Didn't even play catch growing up. All my friends played. I never played. Mm-hmm. T-ball, nothing. Never stepped into the diamond. So then the Washington Wild Things, which is a Frontier League, minor league team outside of Pittsburgh, reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to start at right field for them one night and get an at-bat. And I said, absolutely.
Of course.
So then we filmed it. I'm mic'd up the entire time. My friends are doing commentary. I had 3 at-bats. I started at right field, and we made a documentary out of it. And it is... I don't say this about a lot of my stuff's average. Like, you shouldn't follow me on Twitter. I used to be good on Twitter, not so great anymore. Very average. But this documentary I'm very proud of.
Okay. By the way, I would disagree. I follow you on Twitter. I enjoy your commentary, screaming about piss missiles every single Saturday and Sunday. I've enjoyed that immensely.
The brand needs it.
And by the way, those are words I'd never said out loud or into a microphone.
Did it feel good, though, getting that piss missile out there?
You know what? It did. It did. I tweeted it the one time, and when I tweeted at you about a piss missile, which is what you call these rocket 60-yard, 70-yard punts that we're seeing more commonly now in the NFL.
Yeah, the brand's getting some big old cannons.
Been great. I tweeted it and I wrote it out, and my thumb hovered around the send button for a second. I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well, they say if you have to think about it, you shouldn't do it.
I know that, but I did it anyway.
I don't think much, by the way, so it's wild that you even thought.
The greatest comedic sports documentary of all time, available for $3.33. Is that an homage to your average on that night?
Rich, don't be giving away too much.
Okay.
All right, Rich, this is all, it's a climactic feel.
Okay, you could pre-order it right now for $3.33, and it's the full $5 when it's on the release date of October 10th, and then there's all sorts of fun stuff that you can get when you purchase the
greatest raffle of all time, the Groat. The Groat.
Involves World Series tickets, right? The Groat.
Yep. Superb Owl tickets. I heard from some lawyers I'm not allowed to say we're giving away Superb Owl tickets.
Okay.
So I gotta
be careful, Pat.
Gotta dance around it. But we got Superb Owl tickets. We got World's Eries tickets. We got WrestleMania tickets. Okay. We got a bunch of them.
These are odd. I've never heard of these events before.
Odd events.
Why would anybody want to get raffle tickets to those events?
Well, the Superb Owl is when these two really good football teams play against each other. I don't know where the owl comes from.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, but if you buy the documentary, you get entered into that.
I'm from New York. I thought you were talking about a guy named Al.
No.
You're talking about the Superb
Owl.
Oh, is really what you're saying.
No,
it's the Yinzer. It's the accent.
I just heard that.
It's the Yinzer.
But before we take our first break, and then we'll get a news update.
I'm talking about the bird with the big eyes.
Yeah, you just coming in full circle about your dad and how much he enjoys contact involving you.
Yeah.
The Trindon Holiday blow up. He must have called you up like the proudest papa of all time, right?
My dad enjoyed that I didn't look soft out there. Yeah, I think that's.
You blew him up. You sized him up, and you took him right out.
To be honest, I did get drug tested the next day. It's 100% true. Yeah, that was when the whole random drug test started happening. Yeah, that was when I got excited. But that was not a size-up operation. That was a blind squirrel finding a nut. I was running as fast as I could with my eyes closed, and I just so happened to run into the Olympic track star. And I feel bad for that guy, because anytime a tackle happens that looks like that, his name just gets smeared all over the internet. And it's a real shame. It's great for me. Real shame for him.
You posterized somebody, Patrick McAfee.
Yeah. Right in front of Peyton Manning's big-ass head, too, right over there on the sideline. That was Peyton Manning's homecoming game to Indianapolis, man. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
All right, we'll take a break. Pat McAfee, professional baseball player, is here on the Rich Eisen Show. When we come back, you want to... What else? What's on the news update that you have over there?
We're going to hear from Odell Beckham, his comments. And,
that was bad.
And Jay Ajayi is stirring things up.
Jay Ajayi is stirring things up.
Correct.
He's from England.
And Sean McVay, I want to run through a wall for that guy. I want to get your 2 cents on the cojones, the church bell cojones on that man. The
fourth and an inch.
Oh, my gosh. Pat McAfee, at Pat McAfee Show on Twitter. He's here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, still scoreless in Cleveland. Top 3, 1 out, man on first. Clevenger looking very, I guess, hater-like, right? With that hair, the flowing locks, the flowing mane.
That guy Hater is amazing.
No, he's like a right-handed hater, Clevenger.
I mean, I know they're
kind of. At any rate, that's what's going on in the American League Divisional Series. Houston trying to sweep out the.
As a professional baseball player, I appreciate you keeping the updates.
Yes, Patrick McAfee, professional baseball player. You can get the greatest comedic sports documentary of all time live now, available for just $3.33 at patmcafeeshow.com.
Great plug right there out of you.
That? Well, look, as you know, I have been plugging the brand for quite some time. By the way.
You're the OG.
By the way, that would be the name of my album right now, Plugging the Brand.
Plugging the Brand.
If I
Are you making an album?
I'm not.
Something to think about with that beard. You got a new beard, new look, fresh you, reimagine Rich Eisen.
You just met my wife, who just strolled out here. She's getting ready to go to Lakers practice. Yes, Suze. She's the host of the official Lakers podcast. And so she I think she likes the beard.
Yeah.
And then there's, as you know, there's not much up top. Not like you. I mean, you got some serious cabbage up there, pal.
I used to have the long hair, too. When I got arrested, I looked pretty terrible in the mugshot. But my hair, I feel good about it. I use forhims.com, by the way. No free ads on your show, but my show, for sure.
Now, normally wearing helmets for as long as people do, that normally does wreaks havoc on the follicles.
I didn't wear my helmet much. I was only on there one play, to be honest. Everybody else seems to wear their helmet a lot more than me.
Peyton Manning always had that big red splotch on his forehead, right?
He got a little landing zone up there. That guy's head is large. It's because he got a big brain in there, though. You got to do what you got to do.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, big old brain.
So before we get to the news update, Pat, and be honest with me. Yeah. Be honest with me. How am I viewed in the punting community?
Oh, we love you.
Okay.
We love you. Now, granted, not all punters matter or kickers matter, because there's a lot of people out there that have been bad for the brand of kicking and punting, and that's kind of what I try to bring attention to, is the people that are good for the brand, not bad for the brand.
Right.
But you were the OG, man. When Brian Anger got drafted there and everybody lost their mind on set, you went ahead and said that we were people too, and that meant a lot to us in the locker room, in the showers, in our beds, late at night, dressed, naked, nude.
See, now I'm getting concerned.
Shouldn't be. When we're thinking about you in intimate times, that's good news. And Rich, I've done that numerous times. No, you're the OG though, Rich. You're
Thank
the man.
You. I'm the George Washington of this situation?
Yeah.
Is that what I am?
Maybe Christopher Columbus. You sailed the seas.
Oh, I see. And George Washington was Brian Anger.
Yes.
He drafted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he's a weapon and a person.
I've seen Hamilton, by the way, so I am sophisticated on this whole thing. But I would say you're Christopher Columbus more than anything.
You've seen Hamilton, huh?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Aaron Burr played the guy that killed my Aaron Burr when I went and saw it.
Yeah.
Was the guy that killed Jesus in John Legend's thing.
I did not.
Yeah.
You know
he's
what?
a bad guy.
I'm having trouble just real time connecting these pop culture dots. I'm just assuming Kevin Bacon's in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
I'm a Broadway guy.
You have the news update over there? Pat McAfee's going to sit in with the news update, brought to you by the Honda Pilot. Go for it. Yeah.
And now,
Brockman with a special live report.
Brockman with the news.
The 2019 Honda Pilot, seating for up to 8 and available intelligent traction management. You can haul all your All-Pros this season, so hurry to your local Honda dealer today and test drive the Honda Pilot. Okay, so the Rich Eisen Show news update.
Okay.
Chris Brockman has it, and the man who loved Godspell on Broadway, Pat McAfee, is here on the Rich Eisen Show.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, we're going to start with Odell Beckham. So the first soundbite here was yesterday morning on ESPN's morning show. Odell and Lil Wayne, for some reason, sat down with Josina Anderson, and she asked him how he's feeling with the Giants currently.
I just want to be able to be the very best that I can, and I don't feel like I'm given an opportunity to be the very best that I can, to bring that every single day.
What is holding you back?
I just haven't been in the situation. I haven't been in the place where I feel like I can really go out and do everything that I'm capable of doing. I don't get 20 targets like some other receivers.
So is it the offense? Is it the scheme? When you talk about you're not put in a
everything
situation?
at the moment, it's just everything. It's just everything. And not to say that it's not going to work, but at the moment, I feel like I work entirely way too hard.
Yikes.
Yikes. Odell balled out yesterday, though. He had a pretty good.
He did, and Shermer dialed up a pass for him to throw to Barkley. You know, and he said,
"Why is Lil Wayne?" I got the Carter 5. Thought it was okay. Thought it was pretty good. 2 or 3 good heaters on there last week. I understand the relevance thing, but man, he just got paid too, right? Odell just got paid.
He did,
and he just basically sawed down the quarterback, the coach, the whole team, right?
And the city as well, saying that he really liked what you've been liking out here in Los Angeles.
Well, I can't blame him for that.
All right, well, here we go.
the
Then
other receivers,
Odell talked after the game.
Okay, let's hear
And
it.
here's what he said.
I don't regret anything that I said. If it took that for us to come together as a team like we did today, I could take that every single time. It had been on my heart, and I think all the stuff that was built up inside, it came out in the wrong way. And I texted him and I asked if I could have a minute just to talk to the team, because I feel like we don't, if we're not all on the same page, if it's not authentic and real, and we can all understand each other, then there's going to always be miscommunication.
So now the texting him is Pat Shermer, who he texted, and Shermer said that he did address the team, and he wasn't talking about what was going on in the team. He said that the locker room handled it, is what the coach said. What someone who's been in a locker room, Pat McAfee, what do you think that means?
Well, first of all, he said he didn't regret it, and then he had to give a team speech. So that means you do regret it, right? That's first thing. Odell Beckham is a unique talent that is just electric factory when he's on there. But whenever you talk bad about your teammate, it's awkward. Like, I accidentally posted a picture of Andrew Luck almost naked in the background, and I was, like, embarrassed to walk into the locker room for the next week because that's your family, your brotherhood. That's everything like that. And hopefully he said they came together around that. We'll see. But that is a bad look. It's bad because I don't like awkward situations to begin with, okay? I don't like awkward situations. I don't enjoy it. Guy called me Starbucks earlier. Didn't put enough Splenda in it. Didn't even want to tell him about it. I'll just drink this bitter drink right here and keep it moving. Don't want to have the awkward situation.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Splenda.
But when you saw down your entire team, that's an awkward situation. And it can't be good. I mean, obviously everybody knows Eli ain't got what Eli used to have. But whenever you just got paid, they're looking for you to be a leader in there. And when you just saw it, I just don't enjoy it. I didn't like it.
He did position himself as a leader, saying that if that's the reason why a team comes together,
Good spin zone.
That's what he basically said.
Good spin zone. Yeah, not a bad spin zone.
So what do you mean by, so again, just what do you think happens in a locker room? Who would walk, just again, you're not in there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
If something like that had happened in the Colts locker room, who would have walked up to that receiver and said something?
So it takes the vets, right? So it takes the vets. But when it's one of the vets doing it, it's kind of difficult, right? Because Odell is now a made man for the Giants. He's a rich guy there. He's a veteran there. So whenever you have one of the veterans kind of doing that, it doesn't really lead the way for the younger guys. So it would have to be a veteran. It would have to be like an Eli Manning who would have to come up to him. Hey, I heard what you said about us or about the team. We can't do that publicly. That's in-house. You know, at least until after the season's over. Because now winning football games in the NFL is hard enough. Dealing with drama with your highest paid player, who is a little bit dramatic if you think about the dramatics of Odell Beckham to begin with, but they just got him rich. They just did everything like that. Now you got to deal with a little bit of heightened Real Housewives type situation happening in there. I just think it was a dumb move. It got a lot of clicks for ESPN, I assume, but it's also there's going to be some feelings hurt in the locker room, I'd assume, which isn't good. Never good.
Pat McAfee here is part of Chris Brockman's news update that rolls on with
Jay Ajayi talking to Tim McManus of ESPN.com. Not happy with the play calling yesterday. Quote, obviously, we want to be able to run the ball early and start that rhythm early in the beginning of the game. If I remember correctly, we had maybe 3 carries at the end of the first quarter. With the offensive line we have on this team, running the ball like that doesn't make sense to me.
Wow, everybody's calling out.
Well,
schemes.
Antonio Brown, right? Antonio Brown was upset about not getting enough deep balls. Odell Beckham's upset because he's not getting 20 touches a game, which I think he did yesterday, and he had to throw. Now you got Jay Ajayi coming out. And I think the thing is when the NFL gets as big as it is, which you, by the way, are a big part of, by the way.
Thanks, Patrick.
You should go ahead and take that, stuff it in your belt buckle, and run with it.
I will.
The NFL is huge, so everything that happens, it's in a fishbowl. Every single comment nowadays is taken for what it said and then run with. And it's just such an interesting situation because I don't want to say back in my day like I'm an old man, but everything's handled in-house almost until the season's over at least. Like I went after our GM after he got fired because he was a bum. Like I went after
right?
Yeah,
Grigson.
but I never won it. During the season would never do it because it's just added drama. And I'm way too low on the totem pole to be doing any of that. It's always like a be who you can afford to be type situation. But right now, drama seems to be the common denominator with every NFL team.
Well, I'm going to go off on a couple of tangents here. Grigson, did you think he was right for talking about the footballs in the AFC Championship game?
That was such a wild. I mean, we lost by 50, I think. It was just a wild situation. Who knows if anything was with the balls? I don't get the feeling. I only have the K balls.
Right.
But the fact that they beat us by 50 and then it got blown out of proportion, this whole thing that happened, I think if you ask any player on the Colts, we were kind of embarrassed to be a part of the whole thing. Our name kept getting brought up every single time it was brought up. But I didn't agree with a lot that GM did, to be honest. A lot of things, whether it was handling people, handling situations. He was almost like a robot, wasn't an actual human, didn't really think much. So I would say I disagree.
And is it not, am I mistaken or am I not correct? Ajayi fumbled in the game. A pretty big fumble.
Not good.
In that game. How does a guy fumble and then talk about not getting touches?
Well, I
How
mean,
does that happen?
out here in LA, I think you get to see it. There isn't a lot of self-awareness in the world. And LA is the home of it, I think. Now, obviously in locker rooms.
The lack of self-awareness capital of the world. Los
Right
Angeles,
here, yeah.
California.
You get on one of these bird scooters, you got to keep your head on a swivel. There's near death at any given time. Ain't nobody paying attention. But self-awareness seems to be at an all-time low in the society that we're in.
All right, what else you got for Pat
just
McAfee
a little
here in the
injury
news
recap
update?
here. Greg Olson says he is expected to come back this week, but
Okay.
that he does expect to have surgery at the end of the season. Rashad Higgins sprained MCL for Cleveland, expected to miss 2 games. Ian Rappaport says Leonard Fournette expected to remain sidelined for Week 6 against Dallas.
What a big Week 6 game that is. Jaguars now 3-2, Dallas 2-3 at the Jones Mahal. Holy crap, that's a big Week 6 game.
According to
Jerry
Nesson,
World.
Jerry World, yeah.
According to Nesson, the Patriots have been in contact with Mike Gillislee. Remember, he was cut by them earlier in the season, recently released by the Saints. And Matt Breida suffered a mid to high ankle sprain. Looks like he's out this week.
Yeah, well, Gillislee being put out on the street is not surprised with Ingram coming back tonight.
Right.
And with me needing 17 points from Alvin Kamara, I'm genuinely concerned.
I love that guy, by the way.
Who, Kamara?
Yeah.
Isn't he great?
Love him. He's got the little bull nose thing, too.
Yeah, the ring.
Yeah, I love him. I'm a big fan of the Kamara.
I am too.
Drew
Release
Brees,
the Kamara.
too. What an animal. Is it Kamara or Kamara?
It's Kamara. By the way, Brees, tonight, by the end of tonight, Drew Brees will have the following records. Most completions, most passing yards.
Check.
Most 400-yard passing games.
Check.
Most 300-yard passing games.
And he's like 5'8". It's wild.
I mean, we were talking about Brees being put on Mount Rushmore when it's said and done.
Of quarterbacks?
A quarterback, Mount Rushmore.
Very professional, too. I got a chance to go to a Pro Bowl. He was there.
Yeah.
He was like Captain Pro Bowl, like loved everything about it. You know what I mean? Like he was a very...
So were you on the Pro Bowl?
We had to drive 3 hours out in the desert for practice. We just lost to the Patriots by 50. I was about done with it. I was like, I thought we were going to be in Hawaii. We're in Arizona. What are we doing here? This is an honor of a lifetime. I'm very proud of it, but this sucks. I just want to go golf.
But Brees was the exact opposite.
Exact opposite.
It's a good
Super
thing.
professional. And now granted, him and his stupid baby is the only reason why I don't have a Super Bowl ring, too. So maybe I hold a little bitterness towards that. But Drew Brees is an incredible human. And there's a guy that was told no basically his whole career, right? Too short.
Of course.
Shoulders bad. Get out of here. See you later.
Yep.
And now he's the guy.
Yeah. What do you got else over there, Chris?
I'm trying not to
That
laugh at this
baby up
stupid
on that
baby
thing with the
comment.
headset on, the headphones on.
Come on, you can't have a problem with that. I know you just lost the Super Bowl, but come on, Pat, have a heart.
I hate
know
kids.
your dad threw soccer balls that you tied up to a fence, but have a heart.
Hate kids. Especially that one in particular.
Colin,
Joking. Drew Brees, probably a great dad, great kid. I assume
Not
he's a good...
probably.
I assume. I don't know. We don't know the inner workings.
college
I
football
don't
news.
think he's winging footballs at a taped up son on a fence.
Well, it's a new era. Don't you ever talk about Tim McAfee like that.
Red
else you
River
got?
Showdown was awesome game. Texas came back to was ahead the whole game, beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma has fired defensive coordinator Mike Stoops.
Wow.
As a result, he's out. The school announced Ruffin McNeil is going to take over, being the Sooners' assistant head coach.
By the way, Ruffin McNeil, I think, also has a great show on Disney Junior Yeah, like a great animated show about
Dicker the Kicker also has a great show on Disney.
By the way, that lit up Twitter.
Yeah,
Dicker the Kicker.
How about how he looked right beforehand too, where he gave like this smug like wink
and
to the camera?
he was a career 6 for 9 also.
Yeah, everything
lined up for that.
But
dude.
Pat, I mean, you know better than anybody else. You got to have confidence when you're kicking. You got to you're about to make it.
Yeah,
you're Dicker the Kicker.
Your next kick's your best kick. You're about to end the internet. You know that Red River rivalry
That's
or whatever.
right, yes,
that guy's going to be able to sign pictures of that for the rest of his life.
Correct.
Hook 'em.
Okay, let's hear from Khabib real quick. He talked yesterday, finally after the epic fight Saturday night.
I want to say sorry to Athletic Commission, Nevada, sorry to Vegas. I know this is not my best side. This is not my best side. I'm human being, and I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage. What about he talk about my religion? He talk about my country. He talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus. He almost killed couple people. What about this? This is respect sport. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game.
I don't think he understands the business.
He started off like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Humble.
But he came to Brooklyn and broke bus, man.
Almost killed people, he says.
That was...
By the way, MMA is not a trash talking sport. Not at all. Did I miss something?
I do believe if you watch like the dojo, like there's always like a bowing and handshaking and things like that. But if you want to make money off it, you got to promote it. And the only way to do that is to say...
Yeah, it's to get a pinstripe suit with curse words to make up the pinstripes.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is what Conor did for the Money Mayweather.
Conor's the best at it.
That's proper.
Look, I don't know. They may take away his belt, but then they'll give it back. I mean, let's just all take a beat, make sure that nobody got killed. Let's see what the authorities, the actual people in charge in Vegas are going to do. Take a beat, and then set the
word.
rematch.
If nothing else comes from this whole thing, the word "fook" is one of the best words of all time.
Of all time?
I
don't even know how to spell it.
I don't
Two
know.
O's
There's
in
two
there.
O's in there. Dana White did say today that Conor McGregor has already called him asking for an immediate rematch.
Of course.
Against Khabib. So
this is all WWE. Rematch clause, the whole thing.
It's happening.
The promos being cut after beforehand. The authorities being called.
Couple of NBA items before we leave. The Suns fired GM Ryan McDonough this morning. It's kind of a shock with the season set to start next week.
Who fires a general manager a week before the season?
Who knew the Suns still had a basketball team? There's another question.
That was kind of my point. Also, bad news for San Antonio. Star DeJounte Murray tore his ACL. He's gonna miss the season. Really bummer news there for Spurs.
What? So
after they had gotten rid of Tony Parker.
So Parker's gone. Ginobili's gone. Duncan's not walking through that door.
Kawhi's gone.
Kawhi's up in Toronto.
Laughing, by the way, in Toronto.
Right. Parker's in
Parker's in Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Looked very weird in the preseason seeing that jersey.
DeMar DeRozan's got to be like, are you kidding me? This would be the one time that the Spurs aren't the Spurs.
Yep.
He shows up walking through that door.
Bummer.
That is a bummer.
You're the West, though. It's what? It's Golden State and LeBron.
But they were still a playoff team.
It's Golden. Don't forget
Houston.
Houston.
They're going to put
Don't forget Houston, Patrick.
Houston, Oklahoma City, Portland.
Oh, the East is awesome. Indiana Pacers about to make a run. Let's go, Victor Oladipo.
Do you go to those games?
No. I do not. But I'm a big fan when they win. The whole city seems to be happier, which is good.
The Indians got out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the third. It's now bottom three, still scoreless in the ALDS. Back more with Patrick McAfee.
Hey.
Of West Virginia fame. By the way, West Virginia fans are not happy with me. I'll explain why when we come up.
Yeah, we hate you, Rich.
All right, welcome back to the show. The Rich Eisen Show store, open for business. Check out on richeisenshow.com or on the Rich Eisen Show app. T-shirts, polos, caps, mugs, backpacks, all with the Rich Eisen Show logo. Special this month, limited time only. Punters with People 2 T-shirts.
You guys are in the merch game.
Oh, yeah, man.
Merch
I've been in the
game's
merch game for years. We just finally got the Rich Eisen Show in it now.
Merch game's a good business to be in.
Well, you got the For the Brand T-shirts, but the Rich Eisen Show Punters with People 2 T-shirts, you can get all different sorts of team colors. I gave him one close. I gave Pat one close to the Colts colors. A little too Honolulu blue for his taste. So we're going to get you in West Virginia colors. How does that sound?
Well, at WVU, you said people hate you over there. Maybe we'll get you back on your side. They hate me, too.
By the way, Michael Brantley with a sack fly, bottom three. Cleveland's up 1-0. They don't hate you. The reason why they're upset with me is I was going on this whole spiel before we brought you on, Pat, that if Notre Dame goes undefeated, I think that a one-loss SEC championship loser, so if Alabama beats Georgia or Georgia beats Alabama in a close game, that the loser of that game would still get a spot in the playoffs over an undefeated Notre Dame if Ohio State and Clemson have the other spots. And I forgot about the fact that West Virginia is currently undefeated. And if
top of the Big 12, top of the mountain.
I know. And if they run the table, beating Texas and Oklahoma and win that cockamamie, useless, stupid championship game as well, that what if every single one of them is undefeated? What happens then?
WVU wins.
Or you just change the freaking rules and have an 8-team playoff. How many times have I said that? And you're like, no, we don't need that. Absolutely, we do.
Who said no? You don't need that.
That guy over there.
Absolute communist.
We know who the best teams are.
No,
Do
we
we?
don't. No, we
Any
don't.
given Sunday,
Saturday.
every inch. Saturday, Thursday, Wednesday,
Tuesday, Friday.
And I'm sure
Monday.
UCF fans are throwing stuff at radios and televisions. We're not even mentioning them too. So why wouldn't they get in and then throw in, your runner-up in the Big Ten also? Throw in the runner-up too. Could be Michigan, could be Penn State, could be Wisconsin. What? That's an 8-team cornucopia that you cannot deny.
I don't want to see Alabama beat Michigan by 50. That's not interesting.
Alabama's going to beat everybody by 50. That's going to happen everywhere.
Tua is going to win the Heisman Trophy, not throwing a fourth quarter pass until the Iron Bowl.
He looks like Pat White, by the way. He looks like Pat White with Alabama. So Tua is.
Are you serious?
Pat White was a little taller and thinner, though.
What's that?
Pat White was a little taller and thinner.
Very similar playing styles, though. Both being
Playing
lefty
styles.
helps out a lot, but you watch him, and I got a front row seat to watch Pat White his entire career.
Yes.
He led me to an all-time leading scorer record at WVU, no big deal. But Tua looks a lot like Pat White, but with Alabama behind him, which is...
The difference.
Yeah, that's the difference. That is the difference.
Yeah.
Every 5-star recruit in America, every All-American.
That's why if Alabama loses to Georgia in the SEC championship game, they're absolutely making the Final Four over any of these undefeated teams that I'm talking about. And if you guys sit there and go, no way, come on, can't keep an undefeated team out, you guys are nuts. It's happened twice already.
Nick Saban had a Hard Knocks show on ESPN. If you don't think that is good, Alabama will be anywhere they need to be for ratings, for college football, for Nick Saban's dominance. That's just the way it's going to go.
There's no question.
Yeah. His boat. Did you
don't
watch that
think
show?
so?
Did you watch that show?
I did not.
It's kind of weird.
What
Nick
makes it
Saban
weird?
had a bunch of kids on his boat out in his backyard.
Notre Dame is a bigger national brand than
Harbaugh sleeping with
Alabama.
kids.
I agree.
That's just the fact.
Notre Dame is a bigger national brand than
Just a
Alabama.
fact.
I think you
No one
guys
cares
are
about
living
Alabama outside of the
circus
South.
1990 right there. Do you hear that?
I
Notre Dame's bigger than Alabama, you think?
National
draw,
brand.
100%.
National brand.
Yeah. All over America.
I think that's a very 21st century sensibility.
Oh,
quite
my
honestly.
God. Self-awareness is at an all-time low right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Which one, me or them?
Them.
I agree.
Alabama's huge. They had a show, a training camp show. They have a
It's
15...
because ESPN wanted to be in bed with Nick Saban.
Yeah, which makes them a national brand.
But it was
NBC
only, I'm sure it was only watched in the South. Notre Dame is coast to coast,
watched it.
top to bottom.
You know what we're doing right now? We're having a hot debate.
Yeah,
Split
it is.
screen,
We should,
baby.
we should split screen it with a
Yeah.
top at
Triple
the
box.
bottom, triple box it, and start
Yeah.
barking at each other.
I like that.
By
Quad
the way,
box.
that might be in your future professionally.
I don't know. I don't like the awkward moments. You know what I mean? There's some awkward moments here.
We had only one awkward moment
You and I?
in the last hour. Can you peg which one that
Yeah,
was?
when you went after my dad.
That's the one.
Don't go after
Oh, by the
Ted.
way, here we are. We're all triple
Yes.
boxed right
Okay,
now.
okay. Here we
Okay,
go.
the bald-headed guy on the left side of the screen is stupid.
See, now it's awkward. Now it's
And
awkward.
now it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
And
Did I do it wrong?
We had it for a second.
I don't know. You kind of did it right.
I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with a great take.
Pat McAfee doing a Steelers wheel right there, man.
I take it back. You know what I mean?
Full circle back to your Pittsburgh days right
Here we
there.
go.
You know what I mean?
That's
Well
right.
done, Patrick.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
This has been just been delightful.
The third hour, I had a show that was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Third hour gets tough, doesn't it? Third hour
yeah.
gets a little tough.
Oh, yeah. That's why we had to bring in the specialist.
Come on, bring me in. I'll bring the juice in, cuzzy.
Well, you said you already did this morning
I don't
when you
do-
woke up.
Keep the juice. That sounds like, you know.
Orange juice.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute.
allergic,
$3.33. That's all the greatest comedic sports documentary of all time is going to cost you at PatMcAfeeShow.com. Every purchase of the documentary gets you a ticket to the greatest raffle of all time. As you call
Groat.
it, the Groat.
It's correct.
The Groat.
We had an actual press release that went out to a bunch of places this morning, and they had to say the Groat.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was a funny situation. It's
So
the Groat.
Did any news organizations refuse your release just on that
I think all
fact
of them.
alone?
I think all
out
of
of
that.
principle.
I've gotten zero reaction from it, so I think we $380 well spent. But the greatest raffle of all time is something that you should enter for $3.33. Potential World's Series tickets, Superb Owl tickets, WrestleMania tickets. All these things. Also, $1,000 free play on a gambling website, movement watch and sunglasses, autographed Adam Vinatieri game-worn jersey, and also a chance to job shadow Nick Moraldo.
Patrick McAfee for the brand, everybody.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.